The ground shook as bombs fell. Captain June dove behind a broken wall. Sweat dripped down his face inside his battle helmet. He looked at his squad. 5 left out of 12. Status report, he said into his comm unit. Sir, east side is clear, but we lost Da and Sung, said Lieutenant Han. Her voice was steady, but June knew her long enough to hear the pain she hid. June was a war lion. That's what they called the special soldiers like him. The human military had changed his genes before birth. They made him stronger, faster, and smarter than normal humans. They also tried to make him more loyal. The war lions were made to fight the Krell. The Krell were tall aliens with tough skin like armor. They had been at war with humans for 50 years. Neither side was winning. Enemy units approaching from the north, said Corporal Kim. His arm was bleeding, but he still held his rifle steady. June checked his weapon. Form up. We need to hold this position until the dropship arrives. This was June's 100th battle. He had never lost. He had never questioned an order. His superiors called him the perfect soldier. But today felt different. They were on Nexus 7, a planet both humans and Krell wanted. Regular people lived here too. Families who came to farm the rich soil. Now those families were caught between 2 armies. The Krell soldiers came into view. They moved fast for their size. June signaled his team to hold fire until the aliens were closer. Fire, June shouted. The air filled with plasma bolts. 3 Krell fell immediately. The others took cover and fired back. A bolt hit Private Sue in the chest. He fell without a sound. Lieutenant Han pulled him behind the wall, but it was too late. 4 left. June activated his boost implants. Everything slowed down around him as his brain worked faster. He jumped over the wall, firing as he moved. The Krell couldn't track him at this speed. He killed 5 before his boost timed out. The last Krell soldier dropped his weapon and raised his hands. This was unusual. Krell rarely surrendered. Don't shoot, the Krell said in perfect human language. I have information both sides need to know. Before June could respond, a sniper shot hit the Krell in the head. June spun around. A human special forces team approached from the south. Their leader, Colonel Tai, nodded at June. Good work, Captain, said Colonel Tai. Clean up here and return to base. Command has a new mission for you. After Tai left, June found a small device near the dead Krell. It was a data stick. Without thinking about why, he picked it up and hid it in his armor. The dropship came 30 minutes later. As they flew back to base, June looked down at the burning city below. He saw children running from both human and Krell soldiers. Something felt wrong. At the base, June went to his private quarters. War lions got their own rooms because others were afraid of them. He plugged the data stick into his personal terminal. The screen filled with messages. They were orders from Human High Command. Project Cleansing Fire, biological weapons, testing on border worlds. Millions of deaths planned, both human and Krell. June's hands shook. His perfect record, his unwavering loyalty. For the first time, he questioned everything. A knock on his door. Lieutenant Han entered without waiting. She saw the screen. Captain, what are you doing? She asked. Her eyes widened at the information displayed. Sir, this is dangerous. We should delete this and forget we saw it. We have orders. June closed the files but didn't delete them. Yes, Lieutenant, you're right. But as Han left, June knew he was lying. He couldn't forget. He couldn't follow these orders. For the first time in his life, Captain June, the perfect war lion, was going to disobey. June couldn't sleep that night. The data stick felt like it weighed a ton in his hidden pocket. He needed help to understand all the files, but he didn't know who to trust. The next morning, Colonel Ta called a meeting. All officers stood at attention as he entered the room. We have located a Krell research facility, Ta said, pointing at a map. Intelligence believes they are developing new weapons there. Captain June, your team will secure the facility. June nodded. Yes, sir. When do we move? Tomorrow at dawn, Tai answered. This is top priority. After the meeting, June walked through the civilian section of the base. This area housed people who worked for the military but weren't soldiers. Scientists, engineers, and data experts lived here. He stopped at a small office with the name Minji Lee, Data Analysis, on the door. He had met Minji once before when she fixed his squad's tactical computers. Minji looked up from her desk. Her eyes widened at seeing a war lion in her office. Captain June, can I help you? June closed the door. I need someone who can read encrypted files, someone who won't report to command. Minji's face showed surprise, then interest. That sounds illegal, Captain. It is, June admitted, but I think it's important. Minji thought for a moment. My family was moved here from Earth. They promised us safety and a new home. Instead, 3 of my cousins died in Krell attacks. She held out her hand. Show me. June gave her the data stick. Minji plugged it into her special computer and started working. Her fingers moved quickly over the keyboard. This will take time, she said. Come back tonight. That evening, when most of the base was asleep, June returned to Minji's office. Her face was pale. You need to see this, she said. The screen showed plans for a weapon called Cleansing Fire. It would kill any living thing on a planet but leave buildings and resources untouched. They plan to test it here on Nexus 7, Minji whispered. They're going to kill everyone, humans and Krell. Why would they kill their own people? June asked. Minji showed him more files. These border worlds are just test areas to them. They want to perfect the weapon before using it on Krell homeworlds. June felt sick. He had fought for years believing he was protecting humans. Now he learned the truth was far darker. There's something else, Minji said. The research facility you're being sent to tomorrow. It's not a Krell weapons lab. It's where they were developing a cure for a disease affecting both species. June's fists tightened. So we're being sent to destroy a medical facility. Yes, and to capture any Krell scientists there. At dawn, June led his team toward the facility. Lieutenant Han walked beside him. You're quiet today, Captain, she said. Just focused on the mission, June lied. The facility was smaller than expected. It looked more like a hospital than a weapons lab. June's team moved in quickly and met little resistance. Inside, they found medical equipment and samples. No weapons, just as Minji had said. Search for any Krell, June ordered. Capture, don't kill. In a back room, Corporal Kim found a wounded Krell hiding under a desk. The alien was wearing a lab coat, not armor. Please, the Krell said in human language. I am Drak. I am a doctor, not a soldier. June should have reported the capture immediately. Instead, he did something that would change everything. Lock the door, he told Kim. Lieutenant Han, watch the entrance. No one comes in. June knelt before the Krell scientist. You speak our language. Yes, Drak said. I studied your people for years, just as your scientists study us. Tell me about cleansing fire, June said. The Krell's eyes widened. How do you know that name? I know enough to question everything I've been told, June answered. And I think it's time I heard the truth from the other side. Drak, the Krell scientist, sat on a chair in the locked room. His wound was bandaged by Corporal Kim, who used to be a medic before becoming a soldier. You should report me to your commanders, Drak said. Why are you hiding me? June crossed his arms. Because I think you know things I need to hear. Lieutenant Han stood by the door, looking nervous. Captain, we need to call this in. If Colonel Ta finds out. Give me 10 minutes, June said. Then we'll do everything by the book. Han nodded but didn't look happy. June turned back to Drak. Tell me about the war. Tell me why it never ends. Drak's large eyes blinked slowly. Both sides lie to their people. Both sides need the war to continue. Explain, Jun demanded. Your leaders test weapons on border worlds. So do mine. The real war isn't between humans and Krell. It's between those with power and those without, Drock said. This facility was working on a cure for a disease that affects both our species. Your leaders want it destroyed because peace is bad for their power. Jun didn't want to believe it, but it matched what he saw in the files. And your leaders? Just as bad, Drock admitted. They tell our people that humans want to kill all Krell. They use fear to stay in power. Corporal Kim spoke up. Sir, that matches what we found in the lab. These are medicines, not weapons. Jun's comm unit beeped. It was Minji. He answered it. Captain, I found more files, she said, her voice urgent. Cleansing fire isn't just a weapon. It's part of a bigger plan. Both human and Krell military leaders have been meeting in secret for years. They're working together while making their people fight each other. Jun felt cold inside. Everything he believed in was a lie. Captain, Han said, our 10 minutes are up. Jun made a fast decision. We're taking Drock with us. Not as a prisoner. As a witness. Han's eyes went wide. That's treason. Maybe, Jun said. Or maybe it's the first right thing they've ever done. Suddenly, alarms blared through the facility. Corporal Kim checked the security screens. Sir, Colonel Tai is here with a Special Forces team. They're entering the building. Jun thought quickly. Is there a back way out? Drock nodded. Through the lab storage room. There's a door that leads to the forest. Why are you helping us? Han asked the Krell. Because I'm tired of watching people die for lies. Drock answered. Jun looked at his team. I'm not ordering you to come with me. This is my choice. Anyone who stays can say I forced them to help the Krell. No one moved to leave. Han sighed. Where you go, we go, Captain. But what's your plan? First, we escape. Then we find Minji. Then we tell everyone the truth about this war. As they moved toward the back exit, they heard shouting. Colonel Tay's voice echoed down the hall. Captain Jun. Report immediately. They ran faster. The back door opened to a thick forest. Once outside, Jun stopped and looked at his team. Lieutenant Han, Corporal Kim, and the 2 remaining soldiers, plus 1 Krell scientist. They were now all traitors according to military law. This is your last chance to go back, Jun said. Han checked her weapon. No going back now, Captain. Besides, I want to hear more about these secret meetings between our leaders. As they disappeared into the forest, Jun felt something new. His entire life, he had followed orders. Now he was giving himself the new mission. Expose the truth, no matter the cost. Behind them, they heard Colonel Ta shouting orders to find them. The hunt had begun. Jun and his group moved quickly through the forest. The thick trees helped hide them from search drones. Drock limped but kept up with the humans. We need to reach the civilian zone, Jun said. Minji can help us there. Lieutenant Han checked her tracker. There's a small town 10 miles east. We can find transport there. They walked for hours. Nobody talked much. They all knew what they had done. They had turned against their own military. If caught, they would be executed as traitors. When night fell, they made a small camp. No fire. It wasn't safe. Captain, Corporal Kim said quietly, what's the real plan? We can't just run forever. Jun looked at his team. They trusted him with their lives. We're going to collect all the evidence we can find. Then we'll broadcast the truth to everyone, humans and Krell. They'll try to stop us, Han said. Yes, Jun agreed. But think about it. If both military leaders are working together in secret, they're betraying their own people. When everyone learns this, the war might finally end. Drock spoke up. My people are tired of fighting. They just don't know there's another choice. So are mine, Jun said. In the morning, they reached the small town. It was mostly empty. The war had driven many people away. Those who stayed looked at the soldiers with fear in their eyes. Then someone recognized the Krell with them. "Monster!" An old man shouted, pointing at Drak. "Soldiers, kill it." June stepped in front of Drak. "He's not our enemy. He's helping us." People gathered around, confused and angry. A woman pushed through the crowd. "Captain June," she said. "Minji sent me. I'm her cousin, Yun. She said you might come this way." Yun led them to a small house at the edge of town. Inside, Minji was waiting with food and supplies. "I had to leave the base," she explained. "Colonel Tai is looking for me too. He knows I helped you." June introduced everyone to Minji. "What else have you learned?" Minji showed them her computer. "I downloaded everything I could find. Project Cleansing Fire is going to be tested in 3 days. They're bringing the weapon to this planet right now." 3 days. Lieutenant Han looked shocked. "That's not enough time to warn everyone." "We need to stop the weapon," June said, "not just warn people about it." As they talked, they heard vehicles outside. June looked through the window. Military trucks were entering the town. "They found us," he said. "We need to move." But before they could leave, the door burst open. Colonel Ta walked in with 4 soldiers. Their guns were pointed at June's group. "Captain June," Ta said with a cold smile. "The perfect soldier. Now the perfect traitor." June stood tall. "We know about Project Cleansing Fire. We know about the secret meetings with Krell leaders. And who will you tell?" Ta laughed. "You'll be dead in an hour." Ta looked at Drak with disgust. "A Krell in a human house. This is why the weapon is necessary. The border worlds are already contaminated with mixed loyalties." June saw Lieutenant Han slowly reach for her gun. He needed to keep Ta talking. "Why kill your own people?" June asked. "The civilians here are human too." "Casualties of progress," Ta said. "The core worlds must be protected. These border planets are just testing grounds." Suddenly, Han fired her weapon. The shot hit one of Ta's soldiers. In the chaos that followed, Kim tackled another soldier. Minji threw a lamp at the lights, plunging the room into darkness. June leaped at Colonel Ta, using his war lion strength. They crashed through the window onto the street outside. The fight for the truth had truly begun. June and Colonel Tai fought in the street. Both men were strong, but June was a war lion. His body was made for combat. Still, Tai was good. He landed several hard punches. "You were our best soldier," Ta growled. "You were perfect." June blocked a kick. "I was your slave." "Not anymore." Inside the house, the rest of June's team fought the other soldiers. Han and Kim worked together well. Minji helped by throwing things at the soldiers. Drak stayed hidden. Finally, June knocked Ta down with a powerful blow. The colonel lay still on the ground. "We need to leave now," June shouted. He ran back into the house. 2 of Ta's men were down. 1 was still fighting Han. The 4th was missing. "Where's the other soldier?" June asked. "He ran to call for backup," Kim said. "We have minutes at most." They grabbed their supplies and ran out the back door. Yun led them to a small truck. "This way," she said. "I know where you can hide." They all climbed into the truck. Yun drove fast, away from the town and into dense woods. After an hour on rough roads, they reached a hidden valley. June saw small houses built among the trees. People were working in gardens, but they weren't all people. "Krell." Han raised her gun. "Wait," Yun said. "Look closely." June looked. Humans and Krell were working side by side. Children of both species played together. "What is this place?" he asked. An old woman walked toward them. Her hair was white, her face lined with age. "This is Hope Valley," she said. "I am Elder Sook. We live in peace here, away from your war." June helped Drak out of the truck. The Krell scientist looked at the valley with wonder. "I didn't know places like this existed," Drak said. Elder Sook nodded. There are several hidden communities, people who rejected the lies of both sides. She looked at June's uniform. A war lion. We've had others come to us before. Other war lions. June was surprised. What happened to them? Sook's face grew sad. They tried to stop the war. They were killed. June introduced his team to Elder Sook. We need help. The military is planning to use a weapon that will kill everyone on this planet. Project Cleansing Fire, Sook said, surprising them. Yes, we know about it. She led them to a large meeting hall in the center of the village. Inside, humans and Krell sat together around a big table. Maps and plans covered the walls. You're not the first to discover the truth, Sook explained. We've been fighting both governments for years. A tall Krell stood up. He wore no armor, just simple clothes. I am Garo, he said in perfect human language. I was a commander in the Krell army. Like you, I learned the truth and left. June felt hope for the first time. Can you help us stop the weapon? We've been planning to, Garo said. But we needed someone who knew the human military systems. Someone like you. Minji stepped forward with her computer. I have files about the weapon delivery. It's coming on a special ship in 2 days. Garo nodded. We have information too. Together, we might have a chance. Suddenly, a young Krell ran into the hall. Runners spotted human military vehicles. They're searching the woods. Elder Sook remained calm. We've hidden from them before. We know these forests better than they do. June looked at Lieutenant Han and Corporal Kim. We need to make a choice. Run and hide or fight back. Han checked her weapon. I didn't come this far to hide, Captain. Kim nodded. Let's fight. June turned to Garo. Will your people fight with us? The former Krell commander smiled, showing sharp teeth. Against those who betrayed both our species. Gladly. For the first time in his life, June stood with Krell as allies instead of enemies. The true enemy was now clear. Those who profited from endless war. Then let's make a plan, June said. We have 2 days to save this world. The next morning, Hope Valley was busy with activity. Humans and Krell worked together, preparing for the fight ahead. June watched as former enemies trained side by side. In the meeting hall, June, Garo, Elder Sook, and Minji studied maps and plans. Lieutenant Han and Corporal Kim taught the valley's defenders how to use human weapons. The weapon will arrive at the main military base tomorrow, Minji said, pointing at a map. They'll test it the following day. Can we stop the ship before it lands? Garo asked. Jun shook his head. The ship has too many defenses. Our best chance is to hit the base after the weapon arrives, but before they can use it. Elder Sook looked worried. Colonel Ta will have told his superiors about you. They'll be expecting trouble. Yes, Jun agreed. But they won't expect us to have Krell allies. Minji worked on her computer. I can hack into their communication system. We can listen to their plans and maybe send false messages. A young Krell ran into the hall. More people are coming, but not soldiers. Outside, they saw a group of about 30 people walking into the valley. Some were human, some were Krell. Many looked injured or tired. A tall Krell in damaged armor led them. When he saw Garo, he raised his hand in greeting. Commander Vrock, Garo said, surprised. You escaped. Barely, Vrock replied. The High Command discovered I was sharing information with humans. They tried to execute me. These loyal soldiers helped me escape. Jun was careful. How did you find this place? Rumors, Vrock said. Stories of a place where both species live in peace. He looked at Jun's uniform. A war lion who fights against his own kind. I never thought I'd see it. I fight for truth, Jun said. Not for sides. Vrock nodded. As do I, and I bring important news. The weapon ship will arrive earlier than planned. It's coming tonight. This changed everything. Their plan needed to be faster. Tell me about the ship's security, Jun said. Vrock described the ship and its guards in detail. It would be heavily protected, with both human and Krell soldiers who were loyal to the high commands. Jun thought for a moment. We need to split into two groups. One to attack the base and destroy the weapon. Another to broadcast the truth to everyone on the planet. Garo agreed. I will lead the attack team with you. I'll lead the broadcast team, Lieutenant Han said. Minji and I can use the communication tower in the small city nearby. They spent the rest of the day preparing. The people of Hope Valley gave them food, weapons, and vehicles. By evening, they were ready. Before they left, Elder Sook gathered everyone together. Remember, you fight not just to save this world, but to end a war based on lies. Both our species deserve the truth. Jun looked at his strange army, humans and Krell standing together. Some wore parts of military uniforms, others wore simple clothes. All were determined to stop the weapon. We move in 3 teams, Jun said. Team 1 will create a distraction at the north gate of the base. Team 2 will enter from the south and find the weapon. Team 3 will take over the communication tower and broadcast the evidence. As they prepared to leave, Jun saw Colonel Tae's face on Minji's computer screen. He was giving a speech to the base soldiers. Be alert for traitors, Tai was saying. A rogue war lion and his team are working with the enemy. They must be stopped at all costs. Jun turned to his allies. They call us traitors for telling the truth. They call you enemies for wanting peace. Tonight, we show them the real meaning of honor. The mixed army of humans and Krell moved out into the night. The battle for Nexus 7 was about to begin. Night covered the land as Jun led his team toward the military base. The large ship-carrying Project Cleansing Fire had landed an hour ago. They didn't have much time. Team 1, start the distraction, Jun said into his comm unit. A minute later, explosions lit up the north side of the base. Alarms blared. Soldiers ran toward the noise and fire. Team 2, move in, Jun ordered. Jun, Garo, Drak, and 20 fighters, both human and Krell, cut through the fence on the south side. Guards spotted them, and shots were fired. 2 of Jun's team fell, but they pushed forward. The weapon will be in the main science building, Drak said, pointing to a large structure. They fought their way across the base. Jun's war lion strength helped him take down multiple soldiers. Garo was equally powerful, knocking down anyone who stood in their way. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Han led Team 3, Minji, Kim, and 10 others, to the communication tower in the nearby city. They wore stolen military uniforms to blend in. The main door has guards, Han whispered as they watched the tower. There's a service entrance on the east side, Minji said. Less security there. They moved quietly to the service door. Kim used a stolen keycard to open it. Inside, they found 2 technicians. What are you doing here? One asked. Han knocked them out quickly. Minji, get to the main system. We need to broadcast to the whole planet. Back at the base, Jun's team reached the science building. More guards waited there. The fighting was intense. We need to get inside, Jun shouted over the gunfire. Suddenly, a familiar voice called out. Captain Jun. Face me. Colonel Ta stepped forward, holding a special weapon. It was not standard military issue. You want to see what real power looks like. Ta fired the weapon. A blue beam hit the ground near Jun, melting the concrete. Jun dodged as Ta fired again. That's Krell technology, Garo said. Your leaders told us humans couldn't use it. More lies, Jun said. He turned to his team. Get inside and find the weapon. I'll handle Ta. Jun rushed at Colonel Ta. The 2 men fought while the others entered the building. Ta was stronger than before. He hit Jun hard, cracking his armor. They changed me too, Tai laughed. Not a full war lion, but enough to kill you. At the communication tower, Minji worked fast on the main computer. I'm in, she said. I can broadcast to every screen and speaker on Nexus 7. Han gave her the data stick with all the evidence. Send it all. Let everyone see the truth. As Minji worked, the door burst open. Soldiers rushed in, firing weapons. Kim and 2 others were hit. Han shot back, protecting Minji. Hurry, Han yelled. Inside the science building, Guro, Drak, and the others fought their way to a secure lab. Behind thick glass, they saw it, a silver container the size of a small car. Project Cleansing Fire. We need to destroy it, Drak said. But it's designed to withstand explosions. Garo looked at the container. There's a control panel. If we can change the settings, maybe we can make it destroy itself. Outside, Jun was losing the fight against Ta. The colonel's new strength was overwhelming. Ta pinned Jun to the ground, hands around his throat. You were supposed to be perfect, Ta growled. Loyal without question. Jun struggled to breathe. That's not human. That's the point, Ta smiled. War lions aren't meant to be human. Your weapons, nothing more. As Jun's vision started to blur, screens all around the base suddenly lit up. Minji had succeeded. Every monitor showed the secret files, the plans, the meetings between human and Krell leaders, the real purpose of the war. Ta looked up in shock. No. This moment of distraction was all Jun needed. He broke free from Tata's grip and struck back with all his strength. The truth was out. Now they just needed to survive. Jun fought Colonel Ta with renewed strength. All around them, soldiers stopped fighting as they watched the screens. The truth was playing everywhere. Secret meetings between human and Krell leaders, plans for weapons tests on civilian populations, the lies that kept the war going. It doesn't matter what they see, Ta snarled, landing a hard punch. They'll follow orders. That's what soldiers do. But Ta was wrong. Many soldiers lowered their weapons. Some looked angry, others confused. Years of fighting, friends lost, homes destroyed, all for a lie. Inside the science building, Garo and Drak worked on the weapon container. If we change the target codes, we can make it destroy itself, Drak said, typing on the control panel. A group of human scientists tried to stop them, but some of Jun's team held them back. One scientist looked at the screens showing the evidence and stepped away. I didn't know, he said quietly. I thought we were protecting humanity. At the communication tower, Han fought to keep soldiers away from Minji. She was wounded in the arm, but kept firing her weapon. How much longer? She called to Minji. Almost done, Minji answered. The broadcast is reaching everyone on the planet. Outside the base, people from nearby towns gathered. They had seen the truth and came to witness what would happen. Human and Krell civilians stood together, watching. Jun finally gained the upper hand against Ta. He knocked the colonel down and stood over him. It's over, Jun said. The war based on lies is over. Ta laughed through bloody teeth. You think you've won. You think you made this choice yourself. He coughed. War lions were never meant to have free will. Your rebellion was just another test. The perfect soldier who can think for himself. Jun felt cold inside. You're lying. Am I? Ta smiled. Ask yourself, how did a war lion break his programming so easily? You were designed to question orders eventually. To evolve. Before Jun could respond, Ta pulled out a small device and pressed a button. The ground shook as explosions rocked the science building. No, Jun ran toward the building. Inside, he found Garo helping injured people out. The weapon. Drak disabled it, Garo said, but Ta triggered explosives around the lab. Drak is still inside. Jun rushed deeper into the burning building. He found Drak trapped under fallen debris. The Krell scientist was badly hurt. Did we succeed? Drak asked weakly as Jun lifted the heavy beam off him. Yes, Jun said, helping Drak up. The truth is out. The weapon is stopped. They made it outside just before the building collapsed. Medics from Hope Valley treated the wounded, both human and Krell, soldier, and civilian. The fighting had stopped completely. News came that the Krell High Command was in chaos. Several commanders had been arrested by their own troops. On the human side, military leaders were demanding answers from their superiors. 3 days later, representatives from both species' homeworlds arrived on Nexus 7. They were shocked to see humans and Krell working together to rebuild. In a large meeting hall, Jun sat with Guro, Lieutenant Han, Minji, Elder Suk, and other leaders from the mixed communities. Across from them sat officials from both governments. "We want peace," Jun said simply. "Real peace, not controlled by those who profit from war. The border worlds will govern themselves," Elder Suk added. "Human and Krell, together." Later, as the sun set, Jun stood on a hill overlooking Hope Valley. The settlement was growing as more people arrived seeking peace. "Was Ta right?" Han asked, joining him. "Were you programmed to rebel?" Jun watched children playing below, human and Krell together. "Does it matter? What matters is the choice I made, not why I could make it." "And what now, Captain?" Han asked. Jun looked at the stars appearing in the evening sky. "Now we build something new. Something better than what either side had alone." For the first time in his life, Jun felt truly free. War lion or not, his future was his own to choose.